last season on Querying Chronicles. This should be, hopefully, a very exciting vlog because I'm gonna start querying. I'm still just feeling like excited. I'm sure I'll be nervous when I'm actually like sending them, but right now I'm just like excited about it because even if nothing comes from this, which is definitely a very real possibility, I still like it. I'll do it though. I will play the game and I will jump through the hoops. I absolutely hate this so much. Is it time for a panicked text to my critique partner? Maybe. The last thing I think I need to do before I actually send this to people, where am I getting this audacity, honestly? You're looking at a querying writer. I said 5. It got easier as I went. It's 2:18 on Sunday, January 14th, and I'm officially in the query trenches. I've been querying officially for almost a week, and I've gotten 3 replies. They were both just form rejections. I was smiling like an idiot when I got the first one. Like, it just felt like I was part of the club. I was very thrilled about it. March 16th, another 10 queries sent out, and it is now June 30th. It's slow, I'll tell you that much. It's the middle of the year and you've sent out 15 queries total. It is July 20th, Saturday, July 20th, and I'm ready to jump into this query stuff. I sent out 9 queries. I guess we'll see what happens. It's 5 in the morning. Okay, I checked my email. I have a full request. I read the email like 3 times to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. I'm hoping, honestly, if it is a rejection, she gives me just a sentence. Tell me what you didn't like. I received my reply from the agent who had my full manuscript. She passed, and she sent me a form rejection. Last Friday, October 25th, I received an email back. After reading your submission, we wanted to hear more about the series potential you mentioned in your cover letter. The next step is either going to be, it has to be, either just a rejection or asking for the full manuscript, right? It's Wednesday the 27th. I just got an email with an offer for a 3-book publishing deal. I don't know what to do right now. Like, what do I do? I'm feeling very unsure. And I came to the conclusion that it was going to be best to politely and respectfully turn down their offer. What a wild ride it's been. I had a really good time. I really had a good time in 2024 with querying. I have to say goodbye to the old project. I have to shelve a project. Nobody wants it. So I have to put it on the shelf, and that is sad. I'm very proud of this project. I love it. I still love it so much. So maybe one day we'll get to return to that story in some way. But for now, it's tucked away in my little old folder. So that is officially the end of Querying Chronicles for the moment. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Meredith Phillips, and welcome to Querying Chronicles Season 2, the never-ending seasons of Querying Chronicles. No, just kidding. We're just on Season 2. You know, we're still feeling pretty good about things. So this should be a pretty exciting weekend because I'm going to finish my book with an asterisk, but we're gonna finish the book basically, and then we're gonna start doing some query prep. So here's what's going on. The last vlog we watched as I struggled through line editing this freaking book. I did finish the line edits on Wednesday this past week. Thank God. They were very tedious and it just took a long time, but it's fine. I finished. And then on Thursday, I exported the book out of Scrivener. I put it on my Kindle, and I've been proofreading it on my Kindle. I'm about 65-70% of the way through, so I should be able to finish this today. If you're doing like a final read through, or you just need to like read the book in a different way, highly recommend putting it on your Kindle, putting it on an iPad, putting it on some different device from your main computer. because it just like looks different. It's in a different format, and a lot of times little typos or errors will stand out to you more easily when it's there. So all I've been doing with this proofread is looking for, like I said, typos, punctuation errors, word echoes. There's a lot of times where it's like I line edited one sentence and I reused the same particular word that I'd used in like the previous paragraph. So I'm like fixing up just little things like that. I'm not deleting any, big portion of anything. I'm not writing some new thing. It's all of the word count is staying like basically the same. I'm almost done with that. I'm going to finish it today. And then like the book is going to be basically done. Like this is the last time I'm reading through the book for a long time, likely. The only reason I'm like, it's basically going to be done is the query package critique that I sent out last weekend is still with the editor. She has 2 weeks to look through it. So I'm not anticipating getting it back this week. Or this weekend. I'm hoping I get it back by next weekend, but part of that critique includes the first 10 pages. So while I am hoping that she comes back and says, wow, Meredith, this is literally the most perfect first 10 pages I've ever read in my entire life, I do have my doubts that that's what she's going to say. I'm sure she'll have some amount of critique and things that could be polished up. So once I get that back, I will need to go into that first chapter again, implement whatever suggestions that seemed relevant or good to me. And at that point, the book will like officially be finished. But there's, that's just going to be that first little bit. She also has my query letter and synopsis, so we'll be able to go in and do some revisions there. Again, hoping she says they're perfect. Probably will not be the case. So while I wait for that though, I do want to do some organization before we actually get into real querying. I don't know if I'm going to get to this today. It might be tomorrow. But I last year had a spreadsheet that I used where I had all the agents listed, I had all their stats, I had links to their web pages, I had all of the stuff to keep myself organized. And I want to sort of revamp that spreadsheet. There were things in that sheet that I'd made for myself that I really didn't end up referencing all that often, so it was just kind of a waste to have it there. And then there's other details that maybe should have been added that I didn't. So I want to go and kind of retool that for myself and then make a list of the agents and maybe like pick out my first batch. That'll be exciting. I do have a different batch strategy that I'm going to go with, I think, this year. We'll talk about that later when I'm actually doing the spreadsheet work. I don't think I'm going to do things like I did it last year. We'll talk about it later. I do want to know your thoughts on it though. If you're going to be like, yikes, don't do that because of these reasons you did not even think of. But yeah, I think I'm going to do it different. Anyway, we'll get to that tomorrow. So yeah, that's really all I'm doing today is just finishing proofreading this book and then being done with it. I am enjoying it. I'm looking for like the typos and little things like that. Most of it I think is pretty solid. Like I'm only finding a few little things in each chapter to fix up, but I'm actually like just reading through some of these chapters for the first time in a long time. And I'm like, oh, I like it. I like this book. It's kind of cute. That's been fun too, to see it as like, it looks like a book, it looks like a book in here. So that's fun. Anyway, let me get started. I really don't have anything else to go over at the moment. I don't think. Yeah, but welcome back. We're back. We're making our way to the trenches. Let's get into this and actually finish it up. I was at 66%. So let me just finish this up and finish it up. Oh my goodness, I have done it. Ugh. It's 3:30, okay? I was reading for probably way too long. But I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not rereading this whole book again for any purpose whatsoever for quite some time. Would you like to know the final word count? Until, maybe we do some revisions of the first 10 pages, blah, 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 blah. But like the final-ish word count. Let me check. Final word count is, wow, 88,593 words. That's pretty dang good. I'm really pleased with that word count. That's spot on. Oh, the other thing that was very satisfying in reading through this on the Kindle is you could see the percentage of the way through the book you were. So things that were hitting at like the 25, 50, 75% mark, like those were all like the scenes that were supposed to be at those places, So that was good to see also. It's good. I really enjoyed it. I guess we'll see how it fares in the trenches in the next couple weeks. I don't know. I need to cut this off for today. I have the thrilling task of creating a meal plan and grocery list for the next 2 weeks. We love that. But tomorrow I'll be back and we'll do some of that query prep we talked about earlier. And I'll share what I'm thinking in terms of querying strategy. So I'll see you then. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's the next day. Let's chat querying strategy for this year. Now, I do want your opinion on this. If you're like, ooh, that's a terrible idea, don't do it. Let me know. If you're like, yeah, that seems legit, let me know. So last year when I queried my previous book, I used the traditional batch method of querying, where you send out 8, 10, 12-ish queries at a time. You wait to hear back from at least most of those agents to see if you get any requests, to see if you get a personalized rejection of some sort, something that would lead you to potentially revise your query materials. And then you send out another batch, right? That's what I did last year. I liked that for last year. I think that was a good method to go with, but I don't think I'm going to do that this year. Last year, I had critique partners and beta readers go over my project and give me feedback. I'd gotten the first 10 pages, the query letter, the synopsis critiqued by professional people, implemented feedback there. But that was it. Now, that's not a bad amount of feedback. I feel like that's pretty normal. Critique partners, beta readers, who else are you going to get? This year, though, I have had so much input on this project. I have had the critique partners and the beta readers, but I also had my mentors' input and feedback and critique on the whole project. I had my fellow mentees critique the first 5 pages of the manuscript. They critiqued the query blurb. We did some other trading back and forth of materials. So I've gotten input from a lot of other people on those. The query package materials are currently with an editor. I'm going to get feedback from her, implement that feedback. I've had so many people look at this stuff and tell me how it could potentially be improved. So if I go into the query trenches and I just get form rejection after form rejection after form rejection, I'm not getting full requests, what else is there to fix up? What else would I do? Who else would I go to? Unless I went to a step like getting a full manuscript evaluation, but that's thousands of dollars. I'm not going to do that. Even if I get full requests and they get personalized feedback of some sort, I don't know. I just don't see at this point what else I would be led to revise. After this critique package stuff comes back, I don't feel like I'm going to, revise my query letter further because I've already had professional input on it. I'm not going to pay for another query critique from someone else in 4 months or something. So because of all that, I think what I'm going to do is just kind of go ham and send out a query to a lot of agents right up front. I'm thinking 20, 25 agents. We're going to hit the big guys, the big ones, the big dream agents. We're just going to go for it. Because I don't know what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? If I get form rejections from all of them, who would I go to for revision feedback? I feel like I've exhausted all of the potential places that are at least free for feedback at this point. Now, I can't query everyone on my list, of course, because there's some people who are currently closed to queries. There's a lot of agencies have the policy of only query one of our agents at a time. So I would have to wait to hear back, to see if somebody passed, and then I could send out to more. But I think I'm just going to go for it. Is that a terrible idea? I don't know. Am I missing something? Tell me what you think. But I definitely don't want to stretch this out so that it lasts like the entire rest of the year. I want to put the material out there and let happen what's meant to happen. I don't know. Like, I just don't want to wait around for months and months and months sending out like 10 queries and then like 10 more queries. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me know what you think. But that's currently the strategy I think I'm going to go with. For today, though, we're not sending anything out. It's not ready quite yet, but I do want to, like I said, revise the spreadsheet I was using last year to track who I'm querying, make sure I'm not querying 2 agents at the same agency at the same time, blah, 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 blah. I also, the other thing I need to factor in is the Smooch Pit agent showcase that was like the final event for the mentorship program. There were like 70 plus agents that had access to all of our projects. Some agents specified, if I did not request from you in the showcase, don't query me again, right? So I need to like mark those people off of my list so I don't accidentally query them. A lot of people were still open to being queried, so that's cool. But I need to, there's just other stuff I need to factor in. So let me pull up my spreadsheet from last year, take a look at it, delete some columns. There was other stuff I put in here that was like, I never referenced it. And so it was just a waste of time to like copy it in here. So let me get this pulled up and we'll see what I have. All right, so I've got this sheet pretty well set up with any new agents who have added historical romance to their list of okay to query genres. I've deleted, there was some agents that I guess removed it from their query me with this stuff, so I deleted some agents. I have 122 agents on this list. If you've queried before, that might seem like a really small number, and it is. If you look up like fantasy, adult fantasy, there's like 400 some agents that will take adult fantasy. If you look up like thriller suspense, there's an insane number. It's like 600 or 700 agents. I don't know how you go through that. In all honesty, I don't know how you pick out, how do you go through like 600 agents? So there's other genres that are more popular that have a lot more agents who are willing to look at those materials. 122 though, at the moment, is the only people who are interested in historical romance. So that's another reason why, like, I really don't think it's going to take me a super long time to get through this. What I'm going to do now is, this is going to be super tedious, but I'm going to do it because it is helpful. I'm going to do 2 things actually. I'm going to update links on here to the agent's website, to their manuscript wish list if they have one. And then I'm also going to go in and I think, am I going to do this for every single agent? I think I am. I think I'm going to go in and update my ranking of the agents. I did this last year. This was helpful for me. All of the agents on this list, as far as I know, are like legit good agents. I know a lot of these agencies. They're good agencies. So this ranking is not based on like, do I think this is like a scammy agent? If I thought they were a scammy agent, I would just delete them off the list. But different agents have different amounts of experience and they have different types of information available online. So some of these agents, if you go to like their manuscript wish list or you go to like the agent's website or something like that, they will have details about like what kinds of books they're looking for. And some of them are like really gung-ho about historical romance, okay? And maybe they have like a ton of experience. They've been in the industry for like 20 years or something. Like, that's great. Those are like A-list agents. Other agents, they list historical romance on Query Tracker as a genre they're interested in, but they either don't have a manuscript wish list, or if you go somewhere else to find more information on them, they don't mention historical romance like anywhere else. And so, like, I'll still query them. They say that it's a genre they're interested in, but I don't really have any other information about like what specifically they're looking for. So agents like that might be like a C or a D tier. So it's not that they're a bad agent. It's just that I don't have a lot of info on them to know, like, I don't know, is this a person that would be good for me or not? So I'm going to go in, look at these rankings, see what I think, add ranks for people who are new, etc., etc. This is going to take me a long time, but it was helpful. And last year I used it more when I was structuring those batches I was sending out. I was trying to do a mix of rankings as well as a mix of like speed of reply or like their reply rate. So anyway, let me get going on this. I'll check back in with you later. Okay, I'm trucking along over here. It's a lot of copy pasting. I'm trying to rank new people who are open to queries. If they're closed to queries, I'm kind of ignoring them for the moment. I'm just, poking at this spreadsheet and trying to organize it. So I have all the data that I think I'm gonna need. It's 12:55. I have a live stream for my Patreon folks starting in 5 minutes. So I need to get set up for this and do a live stream for a little while. So I'm just gonna keep working on this during the live stream. I might be able to finish it. We'll see. If I finish it in the middle of the live stream, I'm gonna swap over to doing classwork for that EFA class because I need to get to that also today and tomorrow. Ooh, I need to do that so I can hand in my homework on time. Anyway, let me get set up for this and do this for a little bit. That live stream is over. It was very fun. This always helped keep me like super focused on whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing. So that was good. It's about 2:45. I am working my way through each agency represented in my list, and I'm trying to go on their website and find the details on what they allow for submissions. So most agencies, I feel like the general rule is submit to one agent at a time, and once that agent passes or you get some sort of response from them, then you can query another agent at the agency if you want. That's the case for I would say like 80%-ish of agencies. Some agencies though will say you can pick one agent, and if you get a pass from them, it's a pass from the entire agency, which is always like annoying, but that's fine. So I've just been going through and like cut and pasting their submission rules into this spreadsheet. So it's right there. I don't have to like go searching for it again. There was one agency I went to, I was just like, why you gotta make it so difficult? You really don't need to do this. I feel like this makes it hard for me and it makes it hard for them. So the agent website said you can query one of our agents at a time. If that agent passes, it's a pass from all of us. But if you want to query a second agent, you can. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So don't query us again, but also if you want, you can? What? Anyway, I'm about halfway through my list. I'm going to try to finish it up today, honestly. I'm just cut and pasting. It's really boring, but that's all I'm doing. So I'm going to keep trucking along with that. And I think that's really the last big piece of data I want to add to this sheet. Then I just got to go in and pick out my first batch of people. I'm excited to get to that part, so let's finish this up first. Is this enough data? Do I have enough data going on over here? Is this good enough? Is this good enough? Ah! I think it's enough data. So I need to get up from this computer because I've been staring at this all day. It's almost 4:30, but I finished copying over all the data from the websites and the submission guidelines and blah, 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 blah for all of these agencies. If I filter it, so I'm only looking at open agents, the list is down to like 57 or something like that, 54 agents, somewhere in that range. Now, I can't query all of them at once because there's a lot of these agents who work at the same agency and they have the rule about don't do more than one, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm talking about. So I need to go through this and pick from each agency which agent am I going to go for, either first or at all, because there are some agencies on here that are like, only query one of us. A pass from one is a pass from all. Just like annoying. I don't like that, but it's fine. Anyway, there's not too many of those. I think by the time I narrow it down, I can get this to like probably 25 people, I would guess. We'll see, but I'm going to do that another day. For now, this is done. And I think that's where we're going to end this first Querying Chronicles Season 2 video. I'm excited to be at this point again. I'm excited to get to start sending stuff out very soon. I'm just waiting for that query critique package, which hopefully I'll have back in a week, and then we can get going. So yeah, let me know your thoughts below, like I said, about what I'm thinking in terms of strategy for this year and sending out queries. We're at the end of March, which is the end of the first quarter. Did you have quarter goals that you were hoping to get done? I am squeaking in with this querying stuff. I was like, right at the end of the quarter, but that's what the goal was, to start querying by the end of March, and I think we should make it. For now though, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, you can click the subscribe button. I usually post videos on Fridays. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.